2-on-1. What, in terms of your read and how you play this, we'll bring you into the screen. Your depth decision, his hand. What are you basing your read, the depth, everything on this one?
Yeah, right now I'm thinking I still got to be real honest on the shot. Then once I see Suits lay down, that makes it a lot easier for me.
In what way? What him laying down does what for you?
It makes the pass slower if he's going to pass, and a lot of the time if you slide, it takes away the bottom part of the net, so it gives you some options. Obviously, this one's a little tougher. He's coming that way, but that pass can't quite be as crisp.
Just because he has to sauce it a little bit?
Yeah, has to elevate it or has to, show his hand a little earlier so he knows how to pass through it. So it gives you a little more information.
So at this point, you're just trying to get a pad across and build coverage above it. What's the mindset, as I keep answering my own questions, what's the mindset of coming across here? Yeah,
just trying to get that pad there first. Obviously, we want our body to come as quick as you can, get that turn, get your glove out, blocker in this case, try and take away space.
And this is the part I also clip because, boom, you hit that post, your momentum's coming past, but boom, grab that edge, come back, reverse, goes back the other way, reverse. We see that 3 years ago, or
it's like I'm a kid. No, I think that rotation was something I've worked on, tried to work on a lot. Still coming, but that helps a lot. I was trying to get that flow so if I could beat this pass early, so if he comes back, obviously it's line A, he's a shooter. Then he kind of bobbles the puck a little bit, so that kind of helped.
And again, you're sort of shaded to that glove side. Is that, again, based exclusively on his hand and wanting to eliminate that side of the net for a shot?
It's more that, guys like that with a curve like his, he can get that up short side real quick. So I was trying to take that away, so that if he was passing or shooting far side, they look similar, so I would be pushing into it either way, so I could kind of defend both of those that way.
And as he gets in tight here, it's just a drop and a seal and go?
Yeah.
And a stick.
Once you know that he's not shooting that, you can put all your effort into the push.
First off, the dump in. From that range, there's no chance you're getting out and playing that.
Yeah. No, I'm not even really thinking about it. I mean, maybe some guys would, but not my repertoire.
So as it comes around, as that hits the blue line, how much have you identified as a goalie at this level? Who's on the ice and sort of where they're spaced and what hand they are, already?
Yeah, I mean, maybe a little bit what hand they are, but a lot of it's just, again, kind of feel. But who's on the ice, what they present, how dangerous they are.
Is this a situation, and also an example too, like it comes back to Logan here, and you look like you're in pretty good shape. If you relax you end up with a pretty good scoring chance. But at this point, a lot of guys might be almost relaxed, hey, we got this, we're good.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what makes this dangerous is that when I first watched it, I'm like, man, why didn't I take a look there? And it's because my guy was going to get the puck, so I'm not looking to see who's dangerous.
I'm looking down to,
you know what I mean? If Cooch wouldn't have been there and it would have gone straight to him, I would have probably taken a peek to see where the danger is, but it's coming to your guy, so you don't think that it's gonna this situation is gonna present itself.
A lesson there.
Yeah, and so I don't necessarily. I mean, obviously he's passing it there, right?
Right.
So there's there's probably a guy there, right? So you kind of know that by just common sense, but.
So let's just walk through the mechanics. Even though you didn't get a good look, but you're sort of feeling a guy there.
Mm-hmm.
What the mechanics of sort of how you come down off this and give yourself a chance.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously I try and break up the pass with my stick a little bit. I mean, obviously it's awkward on that side. And then, obviously I'm following the puck and I kind of start to drop early because I want to close off my 5-hole, but then I see him, so I see he's a little farther out, so I stop myself, and then at this point I'm down. And then I just try and get in the way. And then honestly, in that play, I'm reacting. I'm just reading a stick, and it's definitely not pretty. But you know what I mean? It just comes down to playing goalie at that point. that's just
perfect.
That's just street hockey in that point. You know what I mean? Like I didn't see him because I didn't get a pro reads. I didn't get a good read because
But that's a good
my guy
lesson
was
for kids
there.
too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then from there, it's obviously, like I said, try and block the, and then I'm like, as you see, I'm trying to go down there to close off. It's a quick shot 5
Because
hole.
if he's shooting from here, you need to be down. But
You need to be
once
down.
you see that he's out further and you got a little more time,
I stop myself, gain rotation, and then I just kind of pushing out at him and just playing goalie, just old school street hockey, whatever you call it from there.
well, he's
just trying to
probably-
make saves.
Like if you're down early, like it looks like he's trying to go 12 inches off the ice just above the pad. And the fact you're reacting with that pad is probably what gives you a chance. If you're down in an early seal, you might have.
Yeah, there's maybe a hole there. So
Yeah. We just had talked about how I like trying to stay on one side, and then like this one, I'm switching. I think that it's all the read. Like,
but he's also moving too, right?
Yeah,
Like
exactly. So if I'm able to hold the line of sight, that's awesome. And that's my ideal situation, is to, stay up, stay big, and just keep your eyes on it. But, in this situation, he's kind of cutting across. So, I probably felt like I wasn't going to be able to. You got Maddie coming through the middle too. Yeah, I probably felt that I just wasn't going to be able to get an eye on it, because he actually does a really good job with the screen, and then if he's moving a little bit, it obviously makes it a little harder on the goalie. So
if you keep following him short side, you're going to take yourself right out of your net.
Right. And yeah, I just ended up switching sides and caught a good glimpse of it, and probably a good thing that I did. It's hard to tell. Like, I don't know if there were more guys screening me than Dubois.
Yeah,
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Because
I
obviously
wish.
that one goes in the inside of Matthews, but to me it looks like it should go on the outside of him. So he could have, contributed to that a little bit as well. It's hard to like.
It might have even hit Morgan a little bit there off the hip.
Yeah.
Hard to tell. So just a last one. In terms of your depth with Dubois, because he's a very adept deflector of the puck as well. We always hear about, like, is this a situation where it's, as much as there's other layers to this screen, him as a tip option, what's your rule of thumb? Like, you can't chase him, but he's right at the edge of your creases. Is the idea to be as close to him as possible, so if he does get a tip, it can't change direction as far? Like, what's the philosophy on that?
Yeah, ideally, since he's really the only guy low, if he's shooting that puck, he's really the only guy I have to worry about. So my thought would be, I'd get as close as I can to him and try to stay as big as I can, and almost try to shift into being at like the center of where he'd tip it.
Right.
Because if I'm staying where I'm at and just reaching, he tips that and he tips it down. It's going right under me. But as best as you can, if you can get a little bit of a shift to try to meet that tipping point and being square with the tipping point, I think you ultimately give yourself the best chance. And there's gonna be a time when there's plenty of times when the guy makes a heck of a tip, and you could be as square as you want. If the puck goes bar down off the stick, like, you tip your cap and move on. But yeah,
you also don't want to chase, right? If he's holding that, say he's a right-handed shot and he's holding that thing way out the crossbar, and the guy shoots it even on that side of the net, you don't want to be chasing outside of your net either.
Yeah, and I don't want to take like a huge push either, because if there's a rebound, then you're completely removing yourself from the play. So it's trying to make a controlled shift to being on top of him, and then if he tips it, hopefully it hits you, and then if there's a rebound, hopefully you're in a good enough spot to be able to react to that.
Shift versus a big push are two different things.
Right.
So as this comes up ice, are you making a read this early, or?
Yeah. So you're thinking. I think that's Besser there as a righty, and he's got help from two lefties. So you're kind of already formulating how this is going to go. You kind of realize that Shabby's going to go take Besser. Zuby's going to grab Hoglander, and then Stutzel will grab Horvat. But then they get a little crossed up on the communication there. So now all of a sudden, like, you can see I'm already in the paint here, because I've already recognized how close Horvat is to the net and that he's open. So they're going to try to get this puck to him, right?
Pretty easy read, but once he's free, it looks easy from here, at least in terms of he's the most dangerous guy on the ice. But how it manifests itself, how it ends up getting to him, requires a lot of patience on your part.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of different little plays I make with my feet here. So I drift back.
Okay.
And you can see that pad already starts to open a little bit. So this is something that I like to do, is where my shoulders stay square with the shooter, but my pad kind of opens. So it's not really cheating, but it is kind of preparing, I'd say. So now when he kind of pulls that to his forehand, you can see on my right skate, if you go back a little bit, my right skate kind of grabs the edge and then regains depth as I realize he's going to pull that to his forehand. And
because now he's a shooter again.
Correct. So now he's a shooter. So you have to respect that shot. Like if this guy shoots and scores, that's on you. Versus if he makes this play backdoor and scores, that comes second, right? So now I kind of regain depth, but I still know he's there. And as that pass gets made, you can just see my right skate is already preparing to kind of get over there. And then from there, it's just desperation, head, and just try to make a save.
So see another angle, one more angle here coming up.
So right there, he's a shooter again.
Right. And you have to respect that.
Yeah, so you have to, I recoiled, grabbed that right skate to push forward a little bit.
And when you get into desperation like this, what do you like? Are you just trying to find a stick blade as you come across there, or you just trying to get something there?
Yeah, so you're kind of you're just reading like kind of which way, when you've pre-scanned on their entry into the zone, you're reading that okay, he's a lefty, so you're thinking that his stick's going to be a little bit close to their net. So that's probably why my pad angle is a little bit more back diagonal than lateral. And then, just trying to get over there, trying to get my pad to seal as much ice as possible and then build from there. So my blocker over the pad and get my eyes tracking down on the puck.
So as this hits the neutral zone,
Yeah.
So what are you looking for?
Well, this is just a kind of a thing that happens when you play against the best guys in the league. Stamkos pulls up, all of a sudden you're thinking that he's going to wait and make it all the way across to Perry. I don't know if it is. But then all of a sudden on the blue line, you realize that, oh, shoot, that's point coming down in 100 miles per hour. And then it's all about getting a little bit more depth and get the speed backwards and then try to stay patient and not open up any unnecessary holes. And then try to read off of where is he going with this one. Where the hands are right now, it's most likely it's going to be a backhand deke that could go back to forehand, but it's not going to be a shot because it's not in a loaded position for him.
You talk about the hand, like is where the puck relative to the hands or where his hands are on the stick? What are you looking for?
Yeah, so he has the puck right in front of him. So if he's going to shoot it, then it's mostly going to be a flip shot, kind of like McKinnon does. But for some people, you can see their tendencies and know their tendencies by playing them. And Point is one of those guys where he's beaten me multiple times of shots or dekes or stuff like that, and there's like a back and forth kind of thing between us. And you have that, so it's all about staying patient and have a good read, but also that Hampus comes in there as well, and kind of if he goes to his forehand again, Hampus is gonna hit him basically. So now he gets that shoulder precision on him and tries to go far side, and with this amount of speed he has, it's not going to be most of the times he's going to keep going far side for his backhand.
So you're trying to get a good push and a good seal at that point?
Yeah, it's and try to stay, not too spread out, because if you start spreading too early, then it means that you don't have the pushing power in your leg to be able to get there, but also at the same time they can slide at 5-hole because you're opening up things because your arms are just going in a completely different direction.
You talked about your retreat and matching it. Like sort of heels are hitting the edge of the crease.
Oh, yeah.
He's in that half mark area. Is that a rough goal?
Yeah, this is great in the sense of way like I'm right where I want to be, I could be also one skate back as well and still be very happy with where I am. But you like I said, it's a broken play kind of, and it happens so fast that sometimes you just gotta do try to do what's it called? Do your best with what is given, basically.
So otherwise, it's the game's not perfect.
Oh no, never. It's never perfect.
And there you see the hands and the push.
Yeah. So try to get the pad down and then keep it square down on the ice in case you try to sip it 5-hole, and then also get the blocker over top of it and not try to reach too high or anything. You just try to build from bottom up.
So for you, the blocker is like, we've seen some guys will do a paddle down here.
Yeah, and I'm not.
The blocker's more of a coverage thing above the pad.
Yeah, paddle down for me is not something that I am particularly fond of. For me, it just I think that it puts me in a vulnerable position because you get your whole body forward and you get your whole body down. So all of a sudden you have to, if you want to move from that position, you have to rise up and get your knees and your hips and everything got to rise up from where you are right now. And if you look at Vasilevsky, for example, he's great at playing it, but also he's also one of the best to actually move from a very spread out V. It's not easy and just doesn't suit my style of play.
As soon as you see a power play come over the boards, like through pre-scouting or through just past knowledge, like you know exactly who's where.
No, not with some teams. They're like, especially Carolina itself, they're very good at moving and they have a lot of moving parts. They're interchangeable. Their guy in the bumper is changing. Like from one side of the ice, they have a righty, and all of a sudden he backs off and changes place with the lefty when they go over to the other side. And then you got Burns on the top that can just sip pucks right through. And they're a good team, you know. And with good teams comes a lot of different reads when it comes to teams that struggle or doesn't have the same personnel. So for this one, it's more about staying patient and not try to overplay any situations. Because if you start doing that, then you'll end up with one in the net.
Does this play? We already had the low high pop pass. Does this play develops here? What kind of things are you trying to sort? What are you looking for?
Well, this one as well, like I said, there's an interchangeable piece there. Like he's right in the scoring area that, okay, I got to get some sort of depth to play it. And then he holds it for just a split moment. That makes it a little bit easier for me to read what's going to happen. Where's the tendencies? He's going to pass it down to the slot line guy, or is he going to go across, or is he going to shoot himself? Well, he's standing still. He's got a guy on his ass. He makes the pass, which I don't have to really. You see that I'm going to just slide over thinking that it's going to be a 1T because it's Aho. But he gets it.
That would be different if it's a right-handed shot coming down.
Yeah.
1T.
But also, like, he's in a very good position now to actually shoot a 1T. But it's not in a position for him because he gets it a little bit on his back leg. And just because of that, it gives me enough time to catch my edge, gain depth, and then just try to cover as much net as possible. And then, read a release for a high glove and make a save.
So this comes across, you see bobbles. It's like you said, no 1T is in his feet. When you're looking at this release and you're gaining your ice, like when you say, what tells you this is high glove? Is that all instinctual at this point? Like,
yeah, well, it comes with age. It does, and then and how they shoot it, and you can kind of see when they release it, they lift their shoulders up a little bit more. If they want to shoot low, they keep their shoulders down, and maybe sometimes they'll look towards where they're shooting. Like there's all these micro behaviors that people do that sometimes makes it easier for a goaltender to read and react to where the shot is going. But then again, they can fool you. They can look somewhere and then they shoot completely different ways, or they shoot somewhere that you don't think they're going to shoot.
That's just the deception that's in the game, man.
Oh yeah. So transitioning to our 3-on-2 with a back checker, pass it up to the middle. Nelson has it, fake shot, passes it down, and into that position, I don't know if he's going to make the pass or not, but because of the way he catches it and way he puts his stick, I kind of figured that he's going to make the pass. So that's why I turned my stick in case he's going to zip it into the middle, because that's where the biggest threat is. And also our D-man does a great job of getting a stick on it. So the puck doesn't go straight directly to him. He gets a bang play on it, but he's not in a great position because of that. Now it's more of a battle mode. Okay, now I have to kind of see that my right leg is inside the goal, like my hand is further down, everything is kind of all over the place. But from that position, you still not try to lay down, because if you lay down, it opens up the whole top side of the net. So from that position, I try to get over to where the puck is. So right now you can see me behind there. Try to build myself up. So at first, I just go into a chin lock, just because that's where it takes me. And from there, I can see that, okay, he's not going to be able to shoot it right from the start. So now I have time to gain depth and just take and build coverage. So that's what I do. I gain my depth, and I gave my feet, my edges. And from there as well, okay, where's the threat? Like where is he going to be able to shoot it? Well, he's pretty close. I can go out there. We have a lot of guys there. So sometimes you just got to play the percentage, which I do. He shoots it right in the middle, hits the spoked beak, and then cradle it. So from behind as well, pass it down, try to pass it.
Is that the lead? I mean, that flow as you're coming back, I mean, that's not necessarily what you and Bob or we were talking about the other day, but that helps you sort of. Is that an example in some ways?
Yeah, well, yeah. If you look at this one, like from...
It's more of a rush, so I wasn't sure.
Yeah, so from this position, you know, he comes down. I think he's the biggest threat. So I'm the puck carrier.
Right.
So I'm playing a little bit further out. And then I got a back checker, but it seems like he's not going to be able to shoot it. So this is where I started losing, or not losing, but I started creating a little bit of recall to go backwards. So, which I do, and that's where it comes in. So I'm still on my feet, but in case he wants to shoot it towards the short side, I can just move into the post. But he makes a pass inside there. It's a little broken play. And then, you know, still battle mode. You just try to get as up as possible and not create any big holes and keep everything as tight as possible and build off of it. So in zone play, I'd like to play 3 high. Then, you know, Fox comes down and all of a sudden it feels like, okay, there's a threat that's coming towards the net. So it might be a short side or far side. That I don't know. But there has to be an awareness to where my threats, and my threat right now is the guy in the middle. And also Fox. So if I have good visual attachment to where the puck is, I can read where the shot is going and also where the tip is going to happen. So for that matters, he shoots it and he has a stick towards the middle. So for me here, I don't have to push hard into the shot because I'm looking short or far side because that's where the puck goes. And then, you know, where is his stick? His stick is in the middle. And after that, it's more about transitioning everything into the middle. And if I push into it, that might hit me and the puck might end up on the short side. But because that I just do a lot of release kind of thing, where I just slowly or just shift my way towards the one side.
That's good replay here.
That means that, okay, the shot is going wide, but if I shoot it, if I push hard, I'm going to create openings. I'm going to open up the short side. I might open up the far or the 5 hole, but just because that I'm transitioning slowly and just do a loud release to the side, everything is covered. If he makes that tip between his legs, top shelf, either side, kudos to him. That's also something that you have to be aware of, that sometimes guys in this league make sick plays. That's just how it is. So like you can't beat yourself up too hard.
Part of my future, so it is terrifying.
Listen, Kev, I mean, I had a bunch of American. I know, I do it all the time. I play rugby.
I've got that thing running.
But I
I'm
think
gonna go down to the room. I'll be back.
I think we're definitely in that window. But like, it's very clear we're not in that window with those guys because it's not just the top guys anymore.